Hello, how are you? I am so excited to be here for another digital lab training. And today I want to talk about, is your old list building ways costing you money? And here's the deal. I can guarantee you it is costing you money, even if you're like, well, I'm not spending any money. Well, if you do not have a streamlined, organized, and growing list, it is costing you money every single day. Every single lead that's not on your list is costing you money. And so I want to just give you some number one statistics, but number two, really how you can get started in building your list right now, even if you're like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't know what you mean. And so let's just dive in. So my name is Natasha Robertson. I am the COO here at Self Made, and I am super excited to come to you with my marketing and my background skills. I've been in business for over 17 years, started in traditional business and seen the possibilities and the open skies of the online world and dove head first, feet all in, my whole body jumped in. Over this time, I have been absolutely blessed to have generated over $300 million in revenue between traditional and online. And with that being said, there are moments in my journey that were messy, and there was moments in my journey where I was like, this is going pretty smooth because I had systems and I had automations and I had true time freedom and financial freedom at that time, right? So it's okay to be messy because it's part of the journey. And so if right now you're like, list building, I don't even know what she's talking about, it's okay. That's just the messy part of your journey, and it is absolutely awesome. So research suggests that today alone, email alone has an average return on investment for every for every dollar you spend, your return on investment is $42. So think about that. You may have been holding yourself back in a sense of like, well, I don't have a list, so I'm not going to start because that's going to cost money to get started with like a system like Constant Contact or MailChimp or any of those other ones out there. And you're like, well, it's going to cost me money and I don't even know if I'm going to be able to make money on this. Well, I'm telling you right now, for every dollar you spend, your return on investment, the average right now is $42. So before I even dive into how to do this, I've already proven that not having a list is costing you a lot of money. So with that, let's go. So old ways, here's some old ways that still I have been digital for a long, long time. These old ways never found their way into my journey, thank goodness, but they do find their way into the journey of many of my friends, and you may be one of them. So the old ways of organizing and sorting and collecting your list was sticky notes, right? Writing down important information, tasks about the person, little hints of reminding you who they are, where you met them, what you talked about. Well, guess what? Sticky notes can get lost as soon as you open your windows in the spring. Forget it, they're all flying off your wall. And it's just messy, right? So if you are one that has used sticky notes in the past, let us know in the comments because I'm not here to make fun. I'm just here to ask, how'd that work for you? It may have worked because it was finally getting you in a sorting, organizing fashion of your list, but was it transferable to when you were not in your office and on the road and needed to follow up and you didn't know anything about that person? Was it efficient of being able to quickly have a conversation with the people you needed to have conversations with? Was it you capable of automating messages out to the list that was on the sticky notes, right? Are you seeing how that held you back? Even though it probably, you learned so much when it came to the actually collecting and organizing and sorting and all of that, absolutely. You learned from that. But take those same skills that you learned and let's turn them into the digital world. Okay. The second old way that I did a little bit just because there was a time where, you know, my, pen to paper was how I remembered everything. And I had to train my brain to remember things from typing, right? So like you still retain so much more when you actually write it out. So there was a time in my journey where I did a lot of notepads. But what I realized is once I would start putting my list in the notepad, I never went back through the pages. I'm looking forward, right? I'm moving forward in the notebook. I'm never really going backwards. And so I learned for myself that that was not an effective way for me to house my list because I was never looking back. And when I did, I would be like, what? I don't understand. I didn't have a great organized way of doing that because the names were not in alphabetical order. The names were not sorted in categories of where they were in the journey of their journey of communication with me. It was just disorganized and it did not work, right? The other one, really old, is the Rolodex, right? I remember my grandfather and my father had Rolodexes on their desks. They were realtors and builders, and that Rolodex was like gold, right? It's all their relationships, their contacts they have with different people, different businesses, and it was their way of housing their list at the time. Which was really interesting was the Rolodex actually kept it organized, right? But what if you wanted to organize it by not their last name or their first name or their business name? Because how are we supposed to remember all of that? What if you were like, oh gosh, I want to organize this in different categories? Well, the Rolodex didn't allow you to do that, right? It went from A to Z. So it was still limited. It was still limited and it was time consuming trying to find who it was and what they did, right? And then when you look at the last one that I have here on my list to cover is the physical address book. And the last physical address book that I had was I created one before our wedding because I needed to do all the wedding invitations, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much. And now it's like I wouldn't, I'd have to sort through it. I'd have to sift through all the pages to find who I wanted and send if I want to send a card or an invitation to them. And now if I'm just on digital, right, since I shifted over to digital, all I have to do is go to my phone, which is so awesome, type in their name because they're a contact in my phone, and there is their name, address, email, phone number, right? But are you using your digital version of the Rolodex to its fullest potential, right? So these are all just old ways of doing it. And why are these methods so outdated? Well, number one, I've talked about this, they limit your organization. Like you cannot, it's so difficult to categorize and prioritize information and who you need to talk to and when you need to talk to and about what, right? It's just extremely difficult. You're prone to loss or damage, right? Think about that. I said when the window opens and it blows all your sticky notes all off the wall, what now, right? Reorganize. If your notepad gets lost or you spill your coffee on it or what have you, then it's damaged. What are you going to do, right? So even if my computer or my phone got damaged, the documents are not because they're digitalized, right? And I use systems now. So I can log into a system from any device and be able to get to my CRM, my customer relationship management system, and be able to have those same things that I need so I can create the communication that is necessary to get out. This is also when these old methods don't allow you to scale. You just have zero capability of scaling that. These are manual methods and you have to do them in small amounts of work. If you want to scale and you have big audacious goals, guess what? These old methods aren't going to support your goals. They're going to hold you back. They're going to cost you money. So let's dive into the new ways to streamline your list management. Okay. So new ways, obviously, I've already kind of hinted to these things, is a digital platform, a software, an application, something that you can house all of your contacts and sort them. So, I use a CRM, which is a customer relationship management software. I use a CRM that is housed inside of Selfmade Hub because I want to have a CRM that I also, from that CRM, I can attach emails and send emails out, SMSs out. I can like give them access to courses that I want to give them access to. I want to share with them a new system that I built or a new website. I want to be able to connect with them all in one place. So your CRM, your customer relationship management system, allows businesses like you to organize, track, and analyze the customer interaction and the data. So not only is it easy to sort, track, and analyze, but now we can start looking at data, meaning we can see how engaged they are with your content. Are they opening emails? Are they reading text messages? Are they responding? What are they opting into that you've given as a lead magnet, as a webinar you're hosting, or an invitation to a training, right? You don't know those numbers, and they are definitely not housed in Zoom or on like you just went live on social media. Like you don't have these numbers. And here's the other big thing is the email marketing platforms are, if you don't have these contacts attached to an email marketing platform, how can you quickly get the word out that you have a new promotion for them, or you have a training coming up that will help them scale their business, or you want to just do a monthly newsletter that gives all extreme value? How are you going to get that out to all the people who actually want it? Because I'm here to tell you, social media is not going to do that. Facebook alone gives, if you have whatever your reach is, right? Your followers, say you have 1,000 followers, Facebook's only going to show that to 6 to 10%. So 60 to 100 people are actually going to see it. How is that for business? How is that for impact? It's very low, where you can then be able to have that same list of individuals and be able to get it out to them through email and have a 25 to 35% open rate, which that means you're going to see 350 people opening it. That's more impact. That's more revenue for your business, especially if you're offering something, right? So not having those lists built, organized, and easily accessible digitally is just costing you money, right? So not only that, but like another new way of streamlining your list management is automation and integration. I've kind of hinted to this, but leveraging automation. So if I, for instance, yesterday, we just completed and ready to launch the webinar that's coming up March 6th. And I needed to get the word out. I needed to get the word out to every person on our list. Well, we have a lot of people on our list, thousands and thousands of people on our list. How do I get the impact I know this training is going to give to people? How am I going to get the result I want to impact people's businesses if I cannot quickly get this out to the thousands of people that's on our list? I need automation, and I need it integrated, right? I need to leverage automation. Number one, I create it once, I send it once, and it goes to multiple thousands of people. That is today's way of list building and communication. So I'm here to ask you, where are you at in the old ways to the new ways? Are you still back in the old ways and you need to migrate a little bit into the newer ways? Are you in the middle? You're like, I've dabbled, but I'm not consistent, and you know you need to go all in and do this full so you can scale your business, so you can impact the most amount of people possible? I am here to challenge you to take that next step. Take that step from old ways to right in the middle, from right in the middle to new ways. You deserve success that you dream of. The people on the other end deserve the results that you have the solution to. Impact equals income. If your impact is low because you cannot get out to enough people, the income is low, right? So when you're transitioning from outdated manual methods to modern digital solutions, you're going to see a streamline. You're going to have management processes. You're going to have strategies. It's going to improve your organization and efficiency, and it's going to better leverage your customer data for growth and success. It's going to give you the ability to control the communication and no longer hoping and praying on social media they see it and then chasing them like 2-year-olds because you got to message them, remember to go message them, and your follow-up is inconsistent because you're human, right? So we can create automation and follow-up when we have a list built. So after this training, after this realization, are you ready to digitize your list building? Are you ready to stop wasting money and start building that impact up, which builds that income? I invite you to start our 14-day challenge if you have not yet done so. Our 14-day challenge is not only 14 days of incredible trainings from your and Jessica Green, but you're also going to have 14 days of setting up your foundation of all of your tech stack, meaning you don't know a thing about tech, and we are going to teach you and help you implement it every single day until it's done. I promise you, if you stay on track, if you show up for 30 minutes a day and commit to not only your personal growth, but then your tech growth and organization and list building and everything going on to digital world, you will have it fully set up and ready to rock and roll and impact so many people that your income just starts happening and you start to reach those goals that you have. You start to check off those things on your vision board. So join the 14-day challenge. I challenge you.